Dear students, and welcome to the 54th session of the KIPS Distance Learning Program Current Affairs Newspaper Roundup session. I'm your host Shahrukh Haider, and today we're going to see what the new president in the Washington is going to do to South Asia. And we're going to look at what kind of foreign policy can we expect from the Joe Biden administration towards South Asia in particular, because that is of importance to the CSS exam, perhaps to the essay, to the current affairs as well. And if there are questions on Afghanistan, the Afghan peace process, then it becomes important as well. So you should bear in mind that this is something that you're going to use in your answers. So let's start. I'm sure you all know that Joe Biden won the American presidential elections, and the elections were held in a very polarized environment, and Joe Biden won with the largest vote count in the history of the United States of America. And that's a record, and that's an important record, especially in a year when the US population was deeply divided into racial matters, immigration, over their entire orientation in the political spectrum, whether they were leftists, whether they were rightists, what they believed in, whether they were liberals or they were conservatives. So the divide in the American population in the election were quite clear, because Joe Biden, as far as the popular vote is concerned, got 70 million votes, whereas Donald Trump, the previous incumbent president, got 68 million votes. So in terms of the general vote, it was a closely contested vote and historically high number of votes, which really reflects the kind of electorate that the United States has evolved into, which is certainly not good for the US electorate. And that is one of the main reasons why the Joe Biden campaign keeps on saying that it is the time to heal, it is the time to bridge gaps, it is the time to bring people together, and I will be the president of all Americans, not just of Democratic voters, and all of that sloganeering. So Joe Biden brings the classic Democratic Party agenda. He is the old guard, he's the old school of the Democratic Party, and he's not going to do anything significantly different from what other past Democrat presidents have done. And he is going to resume office on the 20th of January 2021. And however, due to the dramatic change that the Trump presidency brought in the foreign policy of the United States, Joe Biden is going to reshuffle a lot of things there as well, and that would mean major changes in US foreign policy towards the world. So among the three most important promises that Joe Biden has made towards American foreign policy change are: number one, rejoining the Paris Climate Accord, because unlike Trump, he believes in climate change and thinks it's real, based on real evidence and scientific data, and he claims that he wants to take United States to the leadership role of international climate change action. Secondly, he's going to immediately end Trump's discriminatory Muslim ban, which meant that the United States banned entry into America from 37 Muslim states that it considered high security. And thirdly, he's going to try to re-engage with Iran to bring some kind of new Iran nuclear deal and remove US sanctions and work on nuclear non-proliferation and all of the efforts that Obama administration did. So that is his general promises, which he probably will deliver after he assumes office after January 20, 2021. So let's look at what kind of foreign policy can we expect from a Biden administration towards South Asia. First of all, talking about Afghanistan. So as we all know that the Afghan peace process is ongoing, but there are a lot of hurdles, there's a lot of escalation in tensions and violence, and the process has substantially stalled despite efforts from all sides. On the Afghan front, Joe Biden broadly shares Trump's agenda on the Afghan peace process. He wants to see through to the end as well. But perhaps under a Biden administration, the withdrawal of American and NATO forces from Afghanistan will be in a more phased out sort of program than Trump's threat of immediate withdrawal and announcement that by Christmas their soldiers will be back. And definitely Biden will be pushing for an intra-Afghan dialogue leading to an intra-Afghan peace accord and a future government before perhaps exiting from Afghanistan without leaving a sustainable solution. And that is naturally in the greater interest of Pakistan, because that means that the US administration, irrespective of its president or the party in the driving seat, is completely committed to resolving Afghanistan crisis once and for all. Secondly, on India. So I believe that Joe Biden will continue to keep strategic engagement with India and will keep on building on that in terms of defense ties, strategic engagement and trade ties. There's going to be broad level agreements and engagement between India and America going into the future as well. There is going to be no major change, primarily because India and United States have shared strategic interest in South Asia, especially when it comes to the containment of China. And in that case, I also believe that there is going to be no major reorientation in Joe Biden's administration towards the American foreign policy of Kashmir, and which is why it's going to remain to be a thorn in Pakistan's side. And despite multiple efforts by Pakistan, the United States will not engage itself in the Kashmir issue to bring some kind of resolution between India and Pakistan. So perhaps the Kashmir issue will remain to be contested for who knows how long, as it has been for 73 years now. And finally, on Pakistan's front, I think that increasing US strategic engagement with India is already a source of anxiety for Pakistan. And if you remember, recently Prime Minister Imran Khan in a speech said that that Pakistan expects US to have a more balanced approach in South Asia towards Pakistan and India, and Pakistan expects to be treated on equal grounds as far as American foreign policy towards Pakistan and India is concerned. Moreover, US-India long-term strategic interests in South Asia are going to be a problem for Pakistan because India is continuously trying to create instability through its fifth-generation warfare and non-traditional security threats around Pakistan, including water terrorism, creating insurgencies, as was quite rightly pointed out by the ISI and the Foreign Minister in a recent news briefing, where they said that there is clear evidence of Indian involvement in promoting terrorism and anti-state activities in Pakistan. Those activities, unless America does something about it, will only get emboldened with time, as India sees no harm in doing them because United States will not penalize India for any kind of nefarious activities inside Pakistan. So that's a major challenge that a Biden administration will pose towards Pakistan, that Pakistan will need to work hard to strike some kind of balance between its relationship with America and India's relationship with America. And it is of critical importance to Pakistan's national security as well, because the recently signed defense agreement and strategic sharing of vital information between India and America was a source of tension for Pakistan, because that meant that India would acquire very sensitive and high technology, state-of-the-art surveillance equipment and other kinds of weaponry that would probably disrupt the balance of power in South Asia, and that would create a security dilemma for Pakistan. Moreover, America's soft stance towards Iran in a potential Joe Biden presidency is going to be the biggest benefit to Pakistan, the biggest pro for Pakistan as far as the Biden administration is concerned, if given that Joe Biden administration commits to creating a new Iran nuclear deal, bringing Iran and welcoming Iran into the international community of nations, and removing US sanctions on Iran. If all of that happens, then Pakistan will have an open environment to engage strategically with Iran, because it is becoming clear that Pakistan and Iran have a lot of shared strategic interests, and they would be served only if they engage with each other on cooperative mechanisms. So that would include a lot of important things. For example, the Iran-Pakistan gas pipeline might just get created and uplift the sort of gas shortages and gas crisis that Pakistan is going to face in the coming years. The Gwadar-Chabahar connectivity in the form of rail and road network might get built, which would increase the scope of Gwadar port and its penetration into the Asian heartland, and definitely bring Pakistani and Iranian economy closer. And as a result of that, in order to secure the Gwadar-Chabahar connectivity, Pakistan and Iran might also work on joint security patrol along the Iran-Pakistan border, and more security checkposts, and creating a more stable and secure environment on Iran-Pakistan border, which would definitely also curb the practice of human smuggling and human trafficking across the Pakistan-Iran border. That has been a source of tension for Pakistan and for other Western nations. The possibility of Iran's inclusion into the CPEC also becomes very high, because Iran has already shown its interest in becoming an important partner in CPEC rather than trying to sabotage it as it was doing under Indian influence and investment in the past. And this would also be in the broader context of the $400 billion China-Iran strategic engagement deal that was recently signed to tap into the massive energy resources of Iran. So keeping all of these things in mind, I believe that not much is going to change in a Joe Biden administration, but an important opportunity might arise for Pakistan if Joe Biden administration decides to cooperatively and engage with Iran to resolve the issues and create a safe environment for international investment. So that being said, I believe that a Joe Biden administration is not going to be very different from a Trump administration, but some certain but important changes might be seen, as I have just highlighted. Thank you.